That is a rather awful photo, isn't it? Although you see a ginger holding a microphone, I'm not Ed Sheeran. My name is Kenny, and today I'm here to talk to you about influencers, who I think are the underused digital marketing tool in your tool belt. Now, what is an influencer? Put very, very simply, an influencer is someone who's garnered an online audience, have a platform online, and they've done that through creating content. So there are like three types of influencers in my opinion. You have your content creators who have a super duper niche sort of what they post. So you can have someone who posts recipe content, fitness workouts, something like that, and they are content creators. Then you have social influencers who sort of share more of their life online, they have more of a broad spectrum as to what they cover. And then you have your celebrity influencers who have found their platform through sort of mainstream media, so reality TV, music, film, things like that. So they are three key types of influencers. Now, how are they traditionally used? I was a little bit skeptical using the word traditionally there, just because it is such a sort of new concept. However, it has become a tradition of, and I'm sure you've all seen the photos, of somebody with lots of followers holding a product, posting it online and getting thousands of likes. That is how they are traditionally used. Now, in my opinion, that's a little bit boring. We're all creative people in this room, so let's get a little bit more creative. In my opinion, influencers have a place across the whole of the digital marketing spectrum. I'm talking CRO, SEO, paid media, PR, a little bit of everything. However, I only have 8 minutes and I can talk for England, so we're just going to focus in on PR. So, how your social media team and your digital PR team can work together to benefit your clients using influencers. Now, here is the slide that I think is the most important. Influencers are demographic figureheads. Use their insight. So you've kind of got to think, why do they have such a big following? They represent the interests and the personalities of their target audience. They act as their figurehead. So things that this target audience likes and enjoys, the influencer represents that, and they are experts in that. Their job is to create engaging content that their target audience will enjoy and pay attention to. So they know exactly what their target audience like. And if you find an influencer that shares the same target audience as your client, interact with them. Again, going back to food, favourite topic, if you find a food influencer who knows their recipes, knows exactly what they're talking about in terms of cooking, and you have a food client, why not talk to those influencers, talk to that market, talk to that audience to learn more about your client that they might not know about themselves and their audience? Because we all know customers will trust influencers more than they will trust your brand. They know that brands are trying to sell to them, whereas influencers are trying to, in a way, make friends with them. And I was talking to someone actually, they said that they recently moved to a new city and they were like trying to expand their social circles, just moved to uni, and they said they were like watching a lot of vloggers on YouTube, and I was like, why? And I was like, well, I don't know that many people, and they're sort of like my friends. And I was like, well, that's very interesting, because when they do those ad placements, have your friends ever like tried to sell you something? Probably they have. They've probably introduced you to like a new TV show or a new film or something, and that is pretty much what influencers do in a roundabout way. So yeah, influencers are demographic figureheads. So a case study, how we've done this at C3. So Ashley's Bowl, total followers online, 250k, an expert on TikTok food trends, recipes, that kind of thing. I really focused in on influencer relations and communications with Ashley, because we were putting together a piece on TikTok food trends, sort of which are the easiest to try at home, and I thought, I'm going to use this person's insight, build a relationship, so we can sort of work together to create an amazing campaign. And we did. The campaign was super good, inspired by social media, and because that campaign performed really well, we spoke to Ashley again, and we created another campaign, which was more about fakeaways. And I went to her, I was like, what kind of recipes would you like to do? What kind of things do you think your audience will be interested in? And we used that to shape the campaign, and it did really, really well. It got 20 plus media placements. The post we did on socials with her, it did super duper well. We got in things like The Independent. Another way to sort of use influencers is the draw of the name. Using celebrity influencers, in my opinion, is sort of difficult ground, because people know that they are celebrities. They're sort of put on a pedestal, so they lose that sort of friendship element that other influencers have. Influencers can find themselves through various ways, one being through mainstream media, we know this. yeah, these people tend to be commonplace in the news media, so their lives are innately newsworthy, if that makes any sense. So whatever you do with them has the potential to go out to a whole unique area of press that you might have gone out to before. In the right context, these creators are super valuable to your campaign. So how we've done this C3 is with Jake Quickenden. Now he has 1.5 million followers online, super duper well known. So he's been on many reality shows. So he started on the X Factor, he was in I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, Dancing on Ice. So very well known in sort of mainstream media. And if you type his name in, there are 2 or 3 articles about him a day. He's very much sort of in that sphere of people who are covered a lot. And we picked to work with Jake because of what he's done in the past. So it was a difficult one to choose, but we went for Jake because it was for our client's Mental Health Awareness Week initiative, and we wanted to really, because it was such a good initiative, we thought, how can we sort of boost this? How can we make it better? How can we really help the client get this incredible initiative out there? So we partnered up with Jake. He has had a history of talking about mental health. He supported charities before, so we thought it was the absolute perfect fit. And this campaign did super duper well. It drove social performance, press headlines. It put our client in the heart of the conversation during Mental Health Awareness Week. We're talking placements in Tyler, Metro, Mirror, The Sun, and we even get sort of residual links from it now. So when Jake got engaged, we got links from what he spoke about. When he had his new baby, we got links from that as well. And although it's not all about links as well, it's about building those relationships between the influencer, between the brand, because the brand's initiative was so good, but in and of itself, it wasn't that newsworthy because it was a charitable collaboration, and putting Jake's name behind it really got the client out there, and the charitable initiative went so well, they raised so much money. So kind of what I want you to take away from this is, make sure your social team are represented in your brainstorms. These two teams, your social team and your PR team, they have different points of view that when they overlap can create absolute magic. Influencer relations and communications are super duper important. I've been to a lot of people, and a lot of people's reactions when you use the word influencer is sort of like, ugh, I hate working with influencers. And if you've had a bad experience working with influencers, you've probably done it a little bit wrong. You really need to focus in on those communications, make sure that you open those lines of conversations. You can do it all through email, not great. Jump on a call, ring them up, open those lines of conversations, and you'll create a partnership that's really great. And then finally, this is digital marketing. Get creative, think outside the box. If you have a campaign, perhaps it might be underperforming. How can you make that better? Talk to your social team. Your social team will be able to help you boost that in different avenues and make it really great. So yeah, thank you very much.